Hi, it's Dr. Ron here, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about stubbornness for some reason. Don't know why it's on my mind today. I'm certainly capable of it, but I like to think of myself as being both stubborn and flexible. In other words, I like to think that it's possible for a person to be open to the opinions of others, to basically be willing to listen, but then be able to advocate for their own point of view if they think it's right. Uh, but thinking that it's right should be based on evidence, and it shouldn't preclude you from listening to evidence from the other side. Because the reality is that probably not every good idea from the inside of your head. By the same token, probably not everybody who disagrees with you has nothing to say that's of importance. So I do think that great accomplishments are based uh, upon experiences of people who are willing to stick up for themselves, even if it's unpopular, even if they don't get a lot of support for doing so. But if they can prove it, if they can move forward, and if it's right, it will work out. By the same token, I think that everybody recognizes that stubbornness can be a pretty negative trait if it blinds you from looking to others and what they have to say. If it basically stops you from listening to what the other person has to say, but you're so intense about getting your point of view across that you miss the other. Again, I consider myself to be stubborn. I don't always follow the crowd. I don't always come up with ideas that others would necessarily see as positive, and I think some of them have worked out pretty well. Some haven't, and when they haven't, very often it's because the stubbornness preceded the flexibility. So I think you can be flexible, being open to experiences, open to what the other person has to say, listen with both ears, and then if your point of view emerges in your own mind as the appropriate one, stick up for it. But recognize that you've kind of vetted it in your own head to make sure that you're confident that what you're doing is and what you're standing for is appropriate. And keep doing that while still being open to new evidence that may change things. Great accomplishments have been made by stubborn people, but they've also been made by some committees and some groups of people who were willing to listen to each other. So it may seem like a tightrope to walk, but we're humans. There's a lot of things that are tough, but certainly possible. And being able to reconcile our point of view with that of others, or to work on convincing others if we're pretty convinced ourselves. Uh, those are traits we can work out as human beings. Two stubborn people can both coexist together and sometimes accomplish great things together if they listen to one another. So until next time, it's Dr. Ron Kaiser. Good talking with you again. Looking forward to our next conversation.